Hello everyone, welcome to another live session. Another live session on emotional leverage. It's a series, so please don't miss it. If you've missed anyone, you can go back to watch the replay. Welcome again, welcome. I'm thrilled to have all of us here. Very, very thrilled. And we're going to be done in a very short period of time, within the next 20 minutes. What we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about a mental shift, a mindset shift that can transform how you approach business, wealth, and life. Okay, so let's start. Let's begin so we can be done within the next 20 minutes. All right, so I'm going to start this session by telling you a story, a very short story about someone who I worked with. Let's call him Mark. Okay, so Mark, the guy is brilliant, earns in 7 figures, sharp, experienced, disciplined, but there was something I observed about him. There was something that kept him stuck. It was like he couldn't move past a certain level. Now, what was interesting was that when it came to big decisions, like expanding his business, entering new markets, taking strategic risk, this guy will hesitate. And you know what? His ideas were so amazing, but he will hesitate. He will be overthinking, waiting for the perfect time. And of course, I tried to talk to him about it, but guess what? Those opportunities would pass. But at the same time, he was incredibly impatient with small things, with the small stuff, constantly switching strategies, micromanaging his team, wanting instant results from long-term investments. So I noticed something, I observed something about him. He was slow when he needed to be fast. Wherever he needed to be fast, he was slow. Wherever he needed to be slow, when he needed to exercise patience, he was fast. And so that is when I realized that it's not that he had a patience problem, because then he used to say, oh, all this patience thing is not really his thing. I said, that is not the problem. The problem is that, I told him, the problem is that you have something called selective impatience problem, but it's misapplied. Selective impatience is good when applied right. When it comes to business, you must learn where to apply impatience and when not to. So in order for you not to miss it, I'll quickly describe or define what selective impatience is. Selective impatience is the art of knowing exactly where and when to be impatient. You can't be impatient at all times, and you cannot be patient at all times, especially when it comes to business, when it comes to life in general. But now we are trying to look at the application in business, in career. Selective impatience is the skill of taking decisive action where it counts and exercising patience everywhere else. Think of it as a filter for your energy, your attention, and your money. When you think of it as a filter, you select the places that you know that this place needs for me to act fast. I need to act fast. I need to be impatient about this. You will filter your energy towards that direction, your attention, your money. So it's like a high-level filter, so that you can reserve the rest of your energy for that important thing at that particular time. Very quickly, Where are the 3 key areas where selective impatience matters? 3 key areas where selective impatience matters. Number 1 is opportunities versus distraction. Opportunities versus distractions. When you see an opportunity, you act fast. Distractions, you can take your time or even remove it completely out of your schedule. What are opportunities? Things that drive you faster towards your goal. Distractions are things that take you away from it. This is just the short definition, but there are more detailed definition. But that is not our topic today, so just for you to understand, opportunities versus distraction. Act fast when it comes to opportunities. When you see opportunities, these are opportunities to close a deal, to partner with someone, to invest. You see investments, you see partnerships. These are things to act fast on. Then on non-strategic tasks, you can wait on those ones. Those ones can hold on. The third area where selective impatience matters is in relationships and networking. Relationships and networking. You want to get yourself into certain circles. Recently, I came in contact with someone, and I've always wanted to associate with this person on a higher level. And as soon as I saw the opportunity, I rushed immediately. I didn't even take time. I don't want to say, okay, maybe even if it's going to cost me money, I don't mind. I paid with speed to have access. That one-on-one, just being in his inner circle. When it comes to relationships and networking, going to certain events, connecting with people, connecting with like minds. You're in the food business, you're in the clothing business. There are food festivals now. GTCO, they hold their food festival, I think. You can attend that and connect with like minds if you are in the food business. These are opportunities that you should act fast on. You shouldn't slow down. It's not a time for you to slow down or delay. When it now comes to casual acquaintances, you can be patient with those ones. I want this to sink in. The third area to apply selective impatience is skill and knowledge acquisition. As you grow in that area in your business, you want to scale, you need to keep gaining more knowledge, because it's knowledge that will help you. And when it comes to learning, gaining the knowledge or that skill, that is something that you do patiently. When it comes to learning everything about it, learn the basics patiently. Take your time to learn whatever it is you want to learn. Take your time. Know the basics. Have it in your fingertips. Let it be something that you can wake up in the morning and you know exactly what that thing is about. Then when it comes to application of what you've learned, rush. That is when to be impatient. You don't practice impatience when you're trying to learn. You take your time to get everything right. Then, when it comes to application, you impatiently act out what you are learning to create impact. If you're watching this now, I want you to comment below which of these areas do you think that you've been impatient about the most. Comment now. We have a few minutes more to go. So let's identify where to be impatient. How to identify where to be impatient. How to identify where to be impatient. So I'm going to classify it with the three lens filter, something I call the three lens filter. It's a framework. The first one is the ROI lens, return on investment lens. So that is where you ask yourself, will acting now create exponential returns? Or is it just going to be slowing you down? Because there are some things that you will do that will not even add at all to exponential returns. It may even make the things worse, or it should just keep you stagnant. So you ask yourself, will acting now create exponential returns? The second lens is what I call the risk lens. Risk lens. So this is where you ask yourself, okay, does being patient increase risk or decrease opportunity? Is it increasing the risk or decreasing opportunity? Because it might be increasing risk, but also increasing opportunity. It might be risky, but that's a very great opportunity. It might be decreasing risk and decreasing opportunity too. So if this is like a very good opportunity for you, that this could work, it might be a very, very important risk to take, a strategic risk to take. So that's the risk lens. Is it something to act impatiently about or patient about? You ask yourself that. The third one, this is the three lens filter. So the third one is the control lens. Can I control the outcome if I act now, or is being patient the smarter move? Because there are times where being patient is actually the smart thing to do, but there are times that being impatient is smarter. So you ask yourself, can I control the outcome of this step I'm about to make? If I act now, if I act impatiently, can I control the outcome? I want you to think about your business or career right now, whatever it is that you do. Where are you waiting too long when you know that action would multiply the results? Where are you waiting too long that is costing you? Where are you waiting too long when actions would multiply results? And where are you rushing when you know that patience will pay off? Type one example in the comments. I would love to see what's on your mind. So we're going to take note of a case study. Our case study today is a woman named Sarah. She was a tech entrepreneur. She had this amazing startup idea, and then she locked herself up, was preparing for it consistently, preparing and preparing, trying to make it perfect, And she stayed indoors for 2 years trying to perfect it. And the sad thing about that story was the fact that competitors launched quickly. Because the truth of the matter is that when you get an idea, when you get a concept, you are not the only one who got that concept. So if you just stay with it and you sleep on it, it can slip out your hands. That was a wrong thing to do. That's not a place where to be patient. What she should have done is, as she's preparing this thing, she's doing something online. Maybe she's already giving information. She's already acting on certain things. You don't have to wait until the concept is so perfect. You can spend the first 6 months working on it, the first 3 months working on it, or 6 months working on it, and then begin. Then perfect it as you are moving. By the time she was over with perfecting the concept, competitors had already launched quickly. They are only already open in the market space. So the lesson I want us to take from this case study is that she was patient. Sarah was patient, but she was patient in the wrong place. Had she been selectively impatient, she would have launched sooner, iterated faster, and captured market share. This thing about selective impatience is not recklessness. We're not saying be reckless, just rushing to the market. That's not what you're saying. You're saying it's a kind of urgency that is strategic. A strategic urgency is knowing when to push and when to wait. It's like in the theater, as a medical doctor, there are things I will tell you that goes on in the theater. There are times where you rush to do something. Like you have to rush to do something. But there are times where you slow down and take your time because you are dealing with a human life. You can't just be careless. So that kind of surgical precision used in the theater medically, that's what I'm saying that you should use in your business. So it's not recklessness. It's strategic. You sit down, you act on the things that the places that you know that this is a place that if I act on fast, it's going to yield more results for me. It's going to increase productivity. So what is the actionable steps that you can take from this short class? What are the actionable steps that you can take? The step one, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to audit your decisions. How do you do this? List decisions that you've delayed in the past 6 months. Categorize them. Categorize them. Which one should you have acted faster? And for which one should you have acted with patience? Step two, you're going to create a selective impatience map. Create a selective impatience map. So for all those areas that you've highlighted, those high leverage areas, remember the three lens that I told you about? Those high leverage areas, mark them for immediate action. You would know the high leverage areas. You know the areas that those areas in your business or in your life or in your career where you know that if you act on these areas now, it's going to yield multiply. It's going to yield maximally. Sorry, excuse me. I think they are, I'm being warned here. So let me see what I can do. Can we still see me? I'm being warned. Like I think it's a network something, so I don't want this live to go wrong. But I hope you can hear me because today's topic is really important. Oh, we are already 17 minutes down. I wanted us to do this within 20 minutes. Already 17 minutes down. So I really want us to consider this. I really want us to consider these things. So okay, what I was saying was the actual the actionable steps sorry, that we are going to take from this class. So mark those high leverage areas for immediate action and then highlight the areas where you know that patience will compound results. There are areas in your career, in your business that you know that patience will compound results. Highlight those areas. Then the third step is daily micro decisions. 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 Apply the three lens filter daily for key actions. Apply the three lens filter daily for key actions. Those actions that you know that will increase productivity. Apply the filter lens for those actions to know which one requires patience and which one doesn't. So when you apply the three lens filter, you can track where patience will pay off and where impatience will be better. Okay. So yeah. Oh, It's 20 minutes. You spend 20 minutes. I'm going to actually take extra 10 minutes. Let's make this a 30 minutes live. When it comes to selective impatience, there's something I want to state. High income earners often confuse activity with progress. You might be having activity and actually making some cool cash, but you're not progressing. You know that there is a level you are supposed to get to now. You're supposed to scale. There's a level that you're supposed to get to now, but you've not been able to get there. This can be one of the key things stopping you. Selective impatience issue. Selective impatience solves that problem. You know what to do and what not to do quickly to progress. So let's round up. Remember that patience isn't your weakness. The problem is selective impatience or using your patience in the wrong areas. Once you master where to be urgent and where to be calm, you'll find opportunities opening up faster than ever. They will just be everywhere. So I want you to drop in the comments right now one area of your life where you will be strategically impatient this week. Let's hold ourselves accountable. I know one area I'm already impatient about that area. I've been working for the past few weeks on it. And I'm really impatient about the area. So yeah, because action separates the wealthy from wishful thinkers. Action separates the wealthy from wishful thinkers. So you need to take action from this live session, from whatever you've learned. You have to take action if you want to see results. So that is it for today. Thank you for joining me live today, and I'll be back soon with more insights for high income earners who want to multiply their results without burning out. I'm inviting you to join the waitlist for the emotional leverage operating system. Join the waitlist. It's coming out soon. It's a system that's going to help founders and high professionals build emotional control, decision clarity, and execution under pressure. You want to join it? Send me a DM. Send me a DM. Remember that patience is power, but applied correctly. Patience is power, but applied correctly. So thank you again for joining me live. I'll see you in our next live. Our next live will be on Monday, not tomorrow. On Monday. You can drop what you learned in this live. I would like to hear your thoughts. And please act on everything that you've learned. I'm very sure that you'll see results. Very sure. If you're following me live, if you're following me in my classes, definitely you see results. Because I've applied it and there are people that have applied it. People that have been following up that they have applied it and I've watched their progress. So I'm very sure of everything I'm teaching.